So tell me something about the 2017 grand final day from your experience that I won't know.
I've been to many grand finals. I have never heard noise quite like this. The Adelaide Crows are trying their best to drown out the Tiger fans, but I think we heard it when Richo was introduced there a moment ago. Just what sort of a roar here, what sort of support there is for Richmond today. And Richo, you actually stood alongside.
I think if you you compare the two lead ups. Like if you look at Adelaide, and like I'm not in there in a sanctum, and I can have an opinion on that because I'm an outsider. But it just looked very clinical and very stiff. Just even like look at the
power stance,
the Power Ranger stance that they were doing. Like it just looked very.
Did you notice they were doing it?
Yeah.
Boy, Adelaide holding it for a long time. Tex steps forward and gives them the key to go. What a moment.
What did you think?
It was hilarious.
Right.
It was just like, that's the opposite of vulnerability. You're laying another shield of physicality and bravado on top of what you should be embracing, which is, yes, we're a little bit nervous. Let's use that as a tool, not as a weakness.
Right. So it's two very different approaches then.
Yeah. And like we laughed at silly things. Like I don't know if many people would know about, the day before, I think it is, when both teams line up at in sort of Brunton Ave in the park and both captains hold the cup up before the game, the day before the game. So it was Tex was the captain at the time, wasn't he? Yeah, so it was Tex and Koch that were holding the cup up.
Yes.
And as a laugh, Koch said, like to us, he's like, I'm not going to let it go. I'm going to be the last one to hold onto the cup. So it was this awkward holding of the cup and Tex was sort of like, didn't know what to do. And we were all just like, this is so funny. Like, this is just like this backstory, which no one really knew. And then Koch, then sort of Tex kind of just walked away and Koch was like, yep, I won that one, boys. Like, we're one up already. Like, it was just sort of a weird, little, just like a side plot thing. Like, all these little things that were fun and funny rather than serious and critical, that sort of fed into the wave that never really got on top of us.
The little handball to Knight. Knight a high ball. Tex good position. Backing back Rance with a ripper.
And Alex Rance has got the matchup on Jenkins, Asprey on Tex Walker. And that's what Rance is going to want to do all day. Be able to come off Jenkins and make sure he plays that intercept role like he does so well.
Short to press. Yeah.
And at what stage did you realise you were going to become the premiership team in the game?
It was when the siren went at the end. Right. Yeah.
You were 40-odd points up.
Yeah.
So you were that focused on what you were doing?
Yeah. I just remember that I was so process-driven. I was so connected and focused on structure and system and where players needed to be that I ran out of time. Like in my mind, it ran out of time, which was great because I never got nervous. I never got sort of frozen up. But yeah, everyone asked, like, was it the Dan Butler goal or was it because that was probably the on paper the time that everyone should have been party time.
Right foot banana, it's there. It's there from the boundary line. Look at the Tigers come from everywhere. Look at the coach's box. Look at the fans and look at Punt Road.
But yeah, it was when the siren went. The siren actually took me by surprise.
The Tigers are going to win the premiership in 2017. The Tigers have got home for the first time in 37 years.
And what was your emotion?
Relief. Immediate relief. And then it was just kind of like just giddiness, just like running around like a child, just hugging everyone I could. Like you don't know where to run, who to run to, what to do, what to wear. Like people are throwing scarves at you and the hats and all this kind of stuff. It's just, I do remember one part of it though, because I remember, and this goes, I think, back to the vulnerability and inclusion piece, that because we were such a diverse group with very multicultural, we had Ivan, who's Croatian, we had Basha, who's sort of Lebanese, with Muslim heritage as well. So, but I remember going back to Basha and I said to him, you just make sure that you enjoy this day according to your standards and values. Like, don't feel like you need to be, like, because he doesn't drink alcohol, like, don't feel like you need to even be holding a beer or near a beer or in a pub. Like, if this, you just do whatever you need to do. And everyone's going to understand. No one's going to be like, oh, where's Basher? He's such a killjoy. Like, that was just the understanding and connection that we had as a group, where Basher could do his own thing and we valued him and loved him for what he did. Young boys, if they wanted to go crazy and do their thing, that was fine. Senior players might just sort of soak it in a bit more. It was just like, whatever you want to do to fulfill your expectation of what the day should be, that's okay.
Usman Khawaja came on this show recently and he talked about the brilliance and his love for Paddy Cummins as captain after they won the Ashes, and they were all there and they started spraying the champagne, and the skipper, Paddy, realised that he was off to the side because, like Basher, he's a Muslim and doesn't believe in alcohol. And Paddy said, stop, boys, hang on, put the drinks down, and got Usman over. So Usman was in the team photo, and it's a similar thing. Like, what that meant to Usman just sealed Paddy as a captain for him, full stop.